from Russia with love, and into the straitjacket for being a false news presenter. It does not get bigger than this one. That is a search for Timoshenko on the Forbes rich list. This is the notorious George Lees exposing that woman was the president of Ukraine. Yeah, she ran with her family. Yeah, and they were my Facebook friends for a while, and then they converted their Facebook site to the Ukrainian language. Sorry, did I show you who I am? Yeah, she's lovely. And even the Radio 4 team, when they were releasing the news that she had been cast into an asylum by her successor as the Ukrainian governor, and I forget what his nickname was, yeah, but he's a fascist, she's a fascist, and this is where you find her on the Forbes rich list. Let me now show you where else you find her. Okay, and that is the beautiful Louis of Bourbon American Pie hairdo that all of the aristocrats wear. And when she is playing her other roles, she no longer now uses it, because she knows that I know that she is the newsreader for Sky. Okay, so that's a search for Timoshenko on the Forbes rich list, and she was on it because she's the Gazprom scam. Okay, let's go back. There is Timoshenko, beautiful, beautiful woman, and even the pug ugly John Humphreys of Radio 4 used to make a joke that I, as the knight in shining armour, might be able to save her out of the asylum that they put her in. There she is talking to Putin that Donald's going to have to deal with soon, because he's now shagging Wendy Deng, Rupert Murdoch's ex. Yeah, and that's on Donald's mind at the moment, if he has one, as he visits the UK and talks to all the Muppet actors that are part of this story. Okay, that's Did You Mean Timoshenko? And when you search for Anna Jones now, that is the actress that is reading Sky News every evening, and she dare not wear her hair up too often with the curly bits, because it's the same bitch. Yeah, and she is on the Forbes rich list as a fictitious character in Ukrainian politics. And there she is outside. Yeah, that's Arrive at Westminster Abbey, and that's Kate Middleton and all the great false news scams. Okay, and next image is of Sky News presenters, and there she is again without her pie hairdo. Okay, it's quite evil really. And there are the other Sky News readers. Yet Fiona Bruce has now gone private, and Gary Lineker, since I revealed him to be the friend of Prince William and the attendee with his wife, who is I forget what the wife's called. The Hawkins woman is in this, and that is the Hawkins that are on the bloodline, and that is the legendary Bruce family, and she has no one on her family tree except herself and the privates that surround her. And there is Bruce again. So that's me trying to find the woman that is Timoshenko, and eventually she pops up as Anna Jones, and that is a search now for Anna Jones, and you'll see. Oh no, you won't. They're cleverer than me really, and you'll see that that is Anna Jones, sexiest presenters on the telly. I disagree with that, but let's not get into small talk. Yeah, that's Kate Middleton and Harry arrive at Westminster Abbey, and that is the Forbes rich lister, that is the faked up Prime Minister of Ukraine, and there are her all of the director numbers for the people that run the Future of Russia Foundation, and they run the Ukrainian issues. Yeah, and there's the boss Bowden for the reactionary New World Order revolutionaries that are actually just paid by the Committee of 300 to tell false stories about them. Yeah, that's the Committee of 300 member Miliband, who's now been booted off with his brother because I've exposed them as false socialists on the Rothschild payroll. Yeah, and there are the Gazprom directorates that got Miss Timoshenko onto the Forbes rich list, and that is where she now resides. She's still on the Forbes rich list, and on it at the same time, yeah, there are the boards. Yeah, they have 40 odd subsidiaries to the west of Amsterdam, and all of that is Russian gas and oil, and Gazprom was launched by Gerhard Schroeder, who died about 18 months ago, or maybe less than that. And all of it is just a massive scam, and they have taken down every power station in Europe in Chernobyl, and all of it now belongs to the directors that are depicted at the top. And you've seen them all before, I think. Yeah, you recognise those guys. And the executed Tsar becomes the dead policeman at the Sydney Street siege for the training in the Tavistock mind control institutions of the world's fascists. Yeah, and one of the dead policemen is a picture of Stalin, who's just been trained, not killed. Yeah, and that is the Tavistock Mind Control Institute that runs everything for the Bushes and the Scherf family. Yeah, and when you start to hit on that lot, things get quite tough for you personally, and they do what they did to poor Miss Timoshenko, yeah, who's already negotiated the contracts, and her Facebook family then converted their language from English to Ukraine, so I could not talk to them again, and all of them are on the Gazprom boards. Yeah, and there is the latest accusation that Miss Timoshenko is now running commands to murder people all over that place. Oh, sorry, we've not got that one on the listings. Okay, and there are the boards. Gazprom Global, Gazprom UK Limited, Gazprom Marketing and Trading, Gazprom Global LNG Limited, on and on, page after page, and that's just to the west of Amsterdam. And if we look for her hits on my website, we might see her in a straitjacket. Miss Timoshenko, heavily sedated, published in 2013, heavily sedated in high security prison for losing the election and asking too much. British G8 political crimes timeline. Dutch and Tartaglio Glasgow mafia. The Timoshenko Gazprom scandals are just cover for another rich list member. Let's now find you him. There he is, him. And there is the scandalous news that Timoshenko is to spend her life in prison now after being a rich lister, and she is now accused of ordering murders in Ukraine. And there she is facing her mental health trials, yeah, when they banged her up. And even the BBC and its presenters like John Humphreys were on her side at that time. Yeah, I will not play it in case they so that is about 5 or 6 roles for the same Timoshenko woman. She is on the rich list, and this man is on it too. Oh no, how the hell did they get rid of that one so quickly? There they are. So there is the real billionaire that is in the top 50 on the Forbes rich list. He's above the now dead Duke of Westminster. Yeah, Gennady Nikolaevich. Yeah, the same names as the Heart of Midlothian football thief that became the Tsar Nikolaevich Rothschild Romanov. It is a world-owning mafia syndicate, and they have tier after tier of their own family members. Yet once they've killed the real Tsar and placed them in the policeman's uniform to laugh at the training of the replacements in Tavistock, in Huntsville, and in St. Petersburg in Russia. All of it belongs to them, and St. Peter never lived, as you now know, and that is the Gwyneth Paltrow scams that I keep telling you about. Born in 1952, is a Russian businessman and billionaire. He founded and owns the private investment group Volga Group. You get all of it, is the Piso, Fani and the Volva, which specialises in investments in energy, transport and infrastructure. In 2014, just after I made my video, just before I made my videos on that topic, Timoshenko was ranked 62nd on the Forbes magazine billionaires list with an estimated fortune of 15.3 billion. Poor Duke of Westminster passed on only with 12 billion in the bank. Yeah, and the whole of the property in Mayfair. He is known for being chairman of the board of directors of Continental Hockey League. Yeah, and that is the ice hockey that President Putin plays before Donald sees to him and maybe has a duel with him over the shagging of Wendy Dane. Yeah, president of the SKA St. Petersburg scam. And my friends in the pub tell me that St. Petersburg was not previously Stalingrad, where 1.5 million people died in the Kull before the returning troops could return and threaten the fascists that launched the war, the Forbes rich list, and the members of their families who are on it. Okay, I'm going to stop now because that is a waste of my batteries. Those are the world's richest people, and all of the replacements and body doubles and name-alikes are on the rich list too. And now she's accused of commissioning murders. Yeah, like the Bush family, who were absolute rabid Nazis in the war, moved to America in 1937 with Goldman Sachs and with the Kuhn Loeb companies and financial interest companies out of the Germans' places, and that is everything that went through border control was totally ignored because the police, remember, are their hitmen. Yeah, still today, and that is the potential war that happened on the outskirts of Ukraine when she was in the middle of the controversy that she had been banged up in a straitjacket because the Ukrainian powers that be had changed hands. She was no longer their elected, in inverted commas, officer. And I wish I could find the name of the person that replaced. Oh no, sorry, we're on to the British final solution now. Yeah, and it is absolutely sordid. Okay, may face life in prison for ordering murder, and they flip back and forth and all of them are constantly through all of that time period on the Forbes rich list. Both she and the real Timoshenko are on it. Oh no, look at that, how quickly can they do that? Right then. So that is the new Dominic Rennie Raab. Yeah, the sun god Ra has the piss taken out of him all of the time, and I believe that he will one day get his revenge. And that is now the Brexit bailout, David Davis, and the resignation of Boris Johnson and him on the same day, 2 days ago, when Donald was used as the diversion when he was being accused of grabbing the fannies all night on the news, and there are the presenters of that news. Yeah, and on it goes. On and on and on. Yeah, and Gary Lineker is a fascist, goes out with his wife was Gary and no, I can't remember it, but they go with Prince William and Kate to the legendary fascist clubs that were clubs in World War II for the fascists when Hitler was the cousin of the Queen of England, and he's a Rothschild, and all of them are descended through Lionel Nathan Rothschild, and that is the story that Greg Hallett has told. Yeah, that all of them are cousins. That's the Queen of England is cousins to Winston Churchill and to Adolf Alois Hitler. Yeah, and all of them are born in Innsbruck, and that's no room at the inn for baby Jesus. Yeah, so there's Sky News presenters. Yeah, none of them have pie hairdos now, but watch it every evening just in case they make an error. Yeah, and the presidential bloodlines, they've changed their names as newsreaders. Yeah, and I forget what our new name is. That is the bloodlines that are Abel Danger and Hawkins, and she was an advocate for the fascist World Wildlife Fund, and she used to make adverts with them with Eamon on a weekday morning when everybody's a little bored, but they're very worried about this woman being chucked in an asylum at that time. Anyway, let's stop there. And they've taken down already the, yeah, that was where we were reading about the new story about the commissioning of the murders, and that is also on the video. And Timoshenko, the real politician, we can't now profile unless he's on that other tab. Yeah, there it is. Gazprom, the pan-continental oil and gas scams run by NATO warlords, dictators, PMs and presidents. Yeah, and so all of them have now changed their roles. The Miliband's are now exposed as traitors to the ordinary working man that they are supposed to represent. Ponzi frauds run by German, Lithuanian, Polish and English governments and retired Prime Ministers, Chancellors. Yeah, that's George Osborne. Timoshenko in jail as Ukraine's syndicate member to cover Forbes, Timoshenko JPG and beyond Britain and Russia's. And they're claiming now that I posted that website there on the 15th of February 2018. It's been there for years. Yeah, when she was in a straitjacket. Yeah, because her replacement in the elections, in inverted commas. Yeah, Putin as PM, and this is the second title there, British G8 Political Crimes Timeline. Putin as PM and President, Ukraine minus 50 degrees centigrade in winter, jails its opposition leader, Miss Timoshenko, heavily sedated in high security prison for losing the election and asking too much for the Gazprom negotiations. Yeah? And she even gets a mention in the web page that is the papal Tartaglio mafias. Yeah? And there is the Archbishop of Glasgow, Tartaglio. Yeah? One of the 5 mafia families in New York. And there are the fascists in Latin America, led by the Bushes, that become Princess Christina in the Netherlands. And the gods seem to have forgiven their family, because all of her children are female and they're beautiful blondes like her. And that's Archbishop Tartaglio of Glasgow. And he's not necessarily in the mafia. He has a fascinating nose. And he may have gotten that by being beaten on the head with a dustbin lid. You need to watch the Godfather trilogy if you want to understand it. And there is Hitler, the cousin of the Queen of England today, through the sordid behaviours of Lionel Nathan Rothschild. And that is the launch of Lionel Messi and Lionel Richie. Bye for now. Catching. And that is how the Queen makes her fortune, by selling those poppies. But she's now more God-fearing, and she allows Prince Charles to do that because she's a coward and she will not look God in the eye. Right then, bye bye. Charge the batteries again.